Hello, darlings. You know, I was thinking I need to make a video. Just need to. Then I thought, well, what would I do? Well, what am I doing? So then I thought, well, maybe I'll just do what am I doing? This morning I slept late and then I got up and um, I started just fiddling with this here piece. These pieces that I'm going to make my rag quilt out of. Because I've got so many things going on at one time, and I never finish one before I start another, and then and so then I just keep going. I pick something without even any thought, and so this morning I thought, well, I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more of these squares done, and which these squares, what I'm doing, if you haven't watched me before. If you haven't watched me before, I don't know if you've missed anything. Probably not. But I take 5 by 5 squares and I cover them up with strips of fabric. Just strips of scraps that don't match or anything. They're just scraps. Because I love making things out of just scraps. See what treasures can come out of just putting scraps together so they just don't fall apart. And no rhyme nor reason. And on this particular thing right here, I'm just putting them all on the diagonal and until I fill up the whole square. And then I don't really measure them, just so long as they're long enough to go from one edge to the other. That's all I need. And so, and then I'll show you what I do is, see, now I try and not use my real long ones here. I try and just pick a couple of short ones. There's a short one here. And I just try to find a couple of little short pieces. Oh, there's a short piece there. And so it doesn't matter what color, nothing, just whichever. And those are a couple little short pieces, because when you get to the end corner here, you just need short pieces. I just kind of push that one that I just sewed on there, push that over to the side and tuck this little one underneath. And I just stitch it down the middle. And then we need another piece right here. And then that'll be enough. This her corner won't be covered up, but that's okay because that one will disappear when I put the two squares together. I'm going to put some squares together in just a minute here. Okay, see, so now I have the whole piece filled up with scrap strips on the diagonal. So now what I'll do is I'll cut those edges off. I'm just using this little ruler, protractor actually. This is my straight edge. And I cut those pieces off. Now these here pieces will be too small to use on something else, so I'll just sew them down here in my stuffing bag. And then I'll cut these. Now see, there's a couple here that'll be here still long enough to go on an edge, so on like a finishing edge. So I probably need to get a new blade in my rotary cutter here, and I'll keep these little short ones right here that are long enough to still use. Throw them ones down there, and then I just go on all 4 sides and just trim These ones here, I believe I'll be too short. Those go in my stuffing bag. And then here, see, I got a couple long ones there that will save. And this is good. I keep touching my mouse there and losing my, okay, see, so now then you can see how the square is covered with the diagonal strips. And I'm going to do one more. Take these strips here out of here and put them in my pile over here. And I kind of keep working from my pile. I have this pile here of just strips. And I work from that pile until this pile gets kind of small. Then I'll just cut some more scraps into strips. So I just leave that sit over there. And then I just a tad too short, so I'll dig through my pile and find one that is long enough to reach from one end to the other. When I start, see, I guess it might be almost time for me to see, and some of them are some of my strips, you know, they don't, I could put 2 strips there. I'll do that on the next one. And then I always start in the middle. I just start in the middle. And if you start in the middle, then your strips will be pretty straight. So I always put that middle strip in first and then work outward. And so, but like here, these pieces are too short, really, but I can still use those like this. I could just poke them together. They don't even have to be the same. They could be different. See there? Well, that's actually 3 pieces in there. You just stitch them right on down there. So see, you don't even really need, you can really be piecing these little strips together and still come out with what you want at the end. And so that's what I do. I just keep on going. I just keep on going. Until I fill up both sides of that center strip with different color. Now, at one time when I was working on this the other day, I told you all I was going to leave this base piece, I was going to leave the bottom, the pretty side at the bottom. But I changed my mind because I am going to put a backing on this. I'll probably just do a flannel backing on the back of this when it's done. So I figure I'll leave the pretty side up. And then that way, once this gets washed, these are all going to get all schnaggly waggly. And then in places, you'll still be able to see that background. And so that'll be good. So, and then I like these pieces here that are like multicolored pieces. I think those are real pretty. Those are real pretty. I just love my scraps. I just having scrap fabrics is, you can do so much hobby work, and you know, you're not making something like perfect, like a perfect quilt where you go to the store and you buy all your fabrics and you make sure that they all match perfectly and they are all, you know, in the same color family or something like that. I don't know because I don't do them kind of things. But that, to me, that's too much work, too much thinking. I can't be doing all that thinking because, you know, just because. And so this is taking other people's scraps that they don't need. You don't have to worry about anything matching. The thread doesn't have to match. Nothing has to have to match. Nothing needs to match. That's just too much thinking. And so even like doing something like this, just by adding, just by stitching these down, I have got this, what do they call it, ADHD or something, attention deficit disorder. And because I can't really do the same thing, I can't stick to the same project. I have to keep switching. So I do things like I do sewing. I got my sewing machine here. I have, I like to draw. Even my drawing is not anything perfect. It's just putting pencil to the paper and coming up with something. Lately I've been trying to draw, I'm drawing, I've been working on doing mandalas. And so I've been drawing on this. But even this, I just can't stick with it for a while. So it stays over there because now in an hour I might not want to be playing with the sewing machine. I might want to be adding some more to the mandala. I've got a whole book that I've gave myself a challenge of making 100 mandalas in 100 days. And so, and I've been having fun. I use a ruler and a protractor or a compass in some of them, but some of them I just do free-handed. And so that's fun too. I'm not, you know, I don't have to show them to anybody. They're just for myself. Sometimes you know, I just make things for myself. And you know, on a lot of my things, it doesn't even matter if I finish. If I don't finish, then I just don't finish. And I've got the rest of my life. If my life ends up and I got unfinished stuff just hanging around, well, whoever has to clean up my mess afterwards, well, they can just throw it away. Because of course, then I won't need it anymore. And so, but that's what I do. This is what I do. I have made many rag quilts or many rag throws. Oh, I crochet too, but I don't crochet a whole lot. I mean, I use, like, one of my things that I do every year is I have every year is I do I donate hats to the homeless. And so I crochet the hats, or I use the loom knitter, the loom knitter, either just the round one or the one with the handle on it, you know, that you can just crank. And I'll make hats for a few days. But then I'm done making hats for that day and I can switch to something else. I just keep switching. I've got one blanket I'm working that is the crow knit stitches, where you crow knitting. I'm working on that one. And that one I usually work on in the evening when I'm sitting out in the living room and watching the kids and hanging out with family, because got to be doing something. Right now I'm in my bedroom / storage room / sewing room / whatever it is. That's where my sewing machine is now. And And yep, I just stay busy. You know, I just stay busy. I don't have. Gosh, there's even more. I mean, I've got coloring books, and I can color in, and um, gosh, I just stay myself busy. And out of trouble, we don't want to be in trouble. And I've got my computer right here by my sewing machine, and I can put YouTube videos in. I mean, I can watch YouTube videos while I do this, while I do something. It doesn't even matter what this might be, just something. And it's just staying busy and just staying busy. I cannot not be busy doing something. And so this is what my busyness is. And so, let's see, that looks good. Okay, so I've got that one now, and I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to get this one trimmed, give this one a little trim, just a little trim here. The other day I made a video on my, trying to rewind, having the most trouble winding my bobbins with the little bobbin machine. And I finally figured out what the problem was, why I couldn't get the bobbins to stay on the spindle. And the thread would jump off, and then the bobbin would jump off, and it was kind of spooky actually when they would just fly off. But then the next day in the mail, let me show you what I have. My friend Cordula, she watched the video, and you see how perfect that is now? She watched the video, and I guess she felt pity on me because I wasn't getting them bobbins threaded. And look what she sent me. Had bought me, sent from Amazon. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 6 at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 36 spools of pre-wound bobbins. I'm telling you, this is like a box of candy to me. This is amazing. But even the spools, you can reuse them again. But to have all those colors in there, I don't even want to use the first one because it'll mess up my. I'll use it. I'm going to use them though for real. Okay, now thank you, Cordula, for them. Those are awesome. Now see what I have. Now I have a few here now, a few squares that are done enough. Oh, I didn't realize I have that many going. I do have that many. Oh, this is something else. But here is a piece. Let me scoot them over here. This is a piece, and I've got some of the squares already sewn together, and as you can see, like on this 4 patch right here, kind of looks like a diamond. And so I've got four patches together so far, and they're all put together in the rag quilt way. So I'll take these two pieces. Take 2 pieces with the right sides on the outside, and then I am going to stitch them with a 1/2 inch stitch. Oh, now I didn't even make sure that was right. I hope by luck I have them on there right. I keep forgetting that I don't. Wait a minute here. I think I did this one wrong. Yeah, I did this one wrong because I don't want them both going this way. I want them to meet in the middle. Let me throw that over there for now because I'll take out that that row of stitching. But see, I want them to go like this. I did that one like this, and I don't want it like that. I want it like this so that it will be that when I get the 4 patch together. Okay, so that's the way I want it. Oh, like this. Okay. That's what I want, Elizabeth. See, I wasn't paying attention. I'm a poor lady. I can't even afford to pay attention. Now this one will be right. See, my bobbin on this one's getting low, so I'll be able to use one of my new ones. See, that's the way I want them, to be this way. So then I'll take 2 more. It doesn't matter which ones either, because, now see, I don't want them that way. I want them this way. No, I don't. I want them this way. That's the way I want those 2 to be. Right? Right, yeah. So, see, sometimes even when you're doing something with no rules, you still make mistakes. That's okay. I got perfectly good seam rippers where I can rip that seam out of that one. Now see here, now I want to make sure that these go through to where that's going to be that diamond shape there. So now what I'll do is I'll just, and see, the seams are on the outside. That's what makes it, you want the whole thing. It's called a rag quilt for a reason. Because you want it, it's going to be raggedy. And I'm telling you, when you put this in the washing machine, when you put this in the washer and the dryer and it comes out and it is so fluffy. It is fluffy. It is fluffy as can be. And in here too, now there might be some places that might be a little bit jumbled up and they might be a little bit wavy and wrinkled looking. That does not matter, see? So there I have that square. And they did come into that diamond shape. So then I'll take 4 more. And see, here's how those will go. Here's 4 more. And see how they'll be in that diamond shape. So, see, I didn't do that on the very first one because I just thought I just knew everything without thinking. But sometimes you got to think just a little bit. So, I limit my thinking, though. So, see there? And now I want these 2 put together like this. So I'll just chain them on there. Oh, them scam callers. Yesterday I had a good call, though. I had a call from my doctor telling you. He says, your sugar is too low. We got to take you off of some of that medicine. Isn't that great? So yeah, so he's just taking me off. So I don't know. So 3 months ago, I come off of insulin. I don't take the insulin anymore. But I now was still taking 2 diabetic medications. And so now he's, now see there how it looks like a diamond? That's good. So I want this like this. And so now he's taking me off some of that medicine. So I'm excited about that. I'm telling you. And I'm getting better. I'm telling you, I'm eating better and I feel better. And it is all in what you eat, I'm telling you. So I'm not saying all diabetes is, my diabetes is caused by what I eat. And so, and I was taking 2 medications and insulin. But now, thank you, Jesus, I am I am coming down. There you go. See how that is? Now I got that, and I got this one. Now when I sew these together, I'm going to sew them together like this. So that's one diamond here, one diamond here, and I'll sew these together like this. And I mean, this is a rag quilt. I mean, you got scraps. I mean, just scrap pieces of fabric. And it doesn't matter if some of them is silk, some of them is rayon, some of them is cotton, some of them is whatever. You just use whatever in it because it doesn't matter. And the colors, the more you have of a collection of colors, I think the prettier it is. And so now I've got that together. Now this is the one I already had, this part. I could now take this, yep, just like this. And I'm going to now I have a question. I didn't do these all in 5.5-inch squares, did I? No, that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me. I'm going to put them together just like that is right there. And then I can trim them up. I can trim it up to make it fit just perfectly. And because I've made so many bed-sized quilts, and I just don't really have even some place to store them. And we need just little lap quilts, like for when we're sitting out in the front room watching a movie or something. Because see, we do that now. We didn't watch movies before, now we do it. And sometimes we're here in Florida, which is the sunshine state, where we don't have sunshine all the time. There is times that we have cloudy days, and it does get cold in the winter time down here. We don't have snow, but it gets cold. And they are saying that this winter, January and February, is supposed to be kind of really cold. So there, now I just put those two new pieces right on the edges here. And so, like right here, this is probably a little bit long right there. I'm going to probably just cut that down a little bit. And, oh, it'll just, once I wash and dry this, I'll make it, it's going to get bigger than this still before. But then I decided rather than worry about having all the back pieces different, I changed my mind and all the back pieces is going to be just whatever they are, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing with a flannel backing. And so that's what I wanted to show you today, how I'm coming across on that. And like I have this one stack of pieces right here. But then as I use them, then I'm cutting more scraps. And so, like this one has a lot of blues in it, but the ones I just did, they don't have a lot of blues in them. There are a lot of different colors in them. So the whole thing at the end is, nothing matches. Everything is just beautiful. And that's what I think is just beautiful. So anyway, I am probably now going to need to go and I haven't ate anything today yet, so I better. But I always read something. And so I'm going to, and Helen Steiner Rice is one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites, to read her little poems. And I use that one, and I use, maybe I'm going to read my Jesus Calling this morning. I have this book, Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. And each day I usually read, because this here is put out to where it's written to where you get 1 page a day. And what is today? Today's the 17th. I haven't read this yet. Okay, today is November 17th. And see, that's what it says here, November 17th. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. The law of this... Oh, I get so many of them scam calls. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. In me. The law of the Spirit. I always have trouble with this. The law of the Spirit of life has set you free from the law of sin and death. Not many Christians know how to live in this radical freedom, which is their birthright. I died to set you free. Live freely in me. To walk along the path of freedom, you must keep your mind firmly fixed on me. Okay, I have totally... My brain is just not connecting with my reading. Okay, I'm going to start this over. And here, this is like Jesus talking, okay? Or the Holy Spirit, the higher power, the divine. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. The law of the Spirit has let you free from the law of sin and death. Not many Christians know how to live in this radical freedom, which is their birthright. I died to set you free. Live freely in me. To walk along this path of freedom, you must keep your mind firmly fixed on me. Many voices proclaim, this is the way for you to go, but only my voice tells you the true way. If you follow the way of the world, with all of its glitter and glamour, you will descend deeper and deeper into abyss. Christian voices can lead you astray. Do this, don't do that. Pray this way, don't pray that way. If you listen to all those voices, you will become increasingly confused. Very true. Be content to be a simple sheep, listening for my voice and following me. I will lead you into the restful green pastures and guide you along paths of righteousness. That is good. At the beginning when I first started reading, and for some reason it wasn't connecting, and so that's why I had to start over. But yeah, like here it says, you know, many Christian, different religions, they'll tell you to do it this way, don't do it that way, pray this way, don't pray that way. If you listen to all their voices, you'll become increasingly confused. So you got to follow the voice inside yourself. You know right from wrong, and that's what you live by. Okay, I ask God to watch over each and every one of you, every step you take, every move you make, and sew some scraps together. It's just like on your Friday night dinner. You get all your leftovers from the week and you throw them all in a pot and you make a pot of Friday surprise, and it always turns out absolutely delicious. Same thing with your scraps. Sew them all together and you come up with something absolutely delicious. See there? This was just scraps. Now they're all sewn together and it's a work of art, in my humble opinion. So there we go. Well, you wait till you see this. After I get all the edges clipped and it washed, oh my word. I might even make it about twice this size, and so it won't be long before I do actually finish it and get it washed and dried so you can see it's finished. Okay, you all have a great day. Remember, I love you all, God loves you all, and we are in a beautiful world. Thank you for watching.